Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name's Erin and I do mostly budgeting videos like the one you're about to see here. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am going to be doing a cash envelope stuffing variable expense video, and I was doing these every single week because I do have to stuff my cash envelopes every week, whether I do a video or not. That is the system that I'm currently working with. It's been working really well for me ever since I went back to it. I used to do this quite some time ago. I would say probably more along the lines of pre-COVID, and the system really worked for me because I was pretty disciplined when it came to when the envelope was empty, that was it. And so I had myself trained to respect the amount of money that was in each category and make it work. And then when I got into more of digital banking, I guess, just because of COVID, we weren't going to the bank, we weren't dealing in cash very much, I saw that I kind of used money a little bit more liberally because I could just draw from my accounts and take what I needed and maybe do a little transferring, and it just was easier for me to overspend, in my opinion. I think some people are just they overspend when they use a credit card or a debit card, and some people overspend when they use cash. I think everybody is different. Let me adjust this just a bit. I don't know if that kind of made the video on an angle. I'm not sure. But anyways, so I have my cash here and I have the binder that I use. This is a soft cover, which is what I wanted. And when I bought these, I specifically bought this binder because it has a snap closure instead of a magnetic one. And the snap just works really well for me because you can kind of stuff this, to great lengths almost, and it will still be nice and secure. So I have been using the red one. It's kind of like a burgundy or maroon. I've been using this one for my weekly spending, and then I also have a couple others. For instance, I have this one here that has my sinking funds. As you can see, like I said, you can really stuff this. Because my sinking funds have a lot of smaller bills and things like that. You can really stuff it and it's still nice and secure. So I highly recommend those. They come in so many different colors. Of course, I'm not sponsored, but I do think I have a link down below that I think I put the link in the description when I first got these. So I'm going to be using this. I'm going to be using Post-its because Post-its are a really handy thing for me when I'm not using something like this budget sheet. This is one I scribbled on. I had my early mortgage payoff plans on there, but I just use Post-its. I think that they get the job done. They do the trick, and you can get rid of them when you're all done with the week. All right, so we're going to turn to March, and I'm turning to weekly layout rather than doing one of these Budget With Me worksheets. And I do have this on my Etsy, which is also linked down below in case you're in need of something like this. I know everybody has their own system or their own worksheets, whatever works for you. But in case you are looking for something, I do have these listed along with some other things that might be helpful if you're looking to organize yourself with a budget. I use these mostly when I am organizing and writing out, plotting and planning for my weekly paydays, or bi-weekly in my case. And I use it for that, and then I'll put my fixed expenses, variable, sinking funds, all kinds of information on here. But this isn't a payday week for us, not for me or my husband, so I'm going to plan out our variables anyway, and I'm pulling money from previous paydays earlier in the month. So I'm going to list as neatly and small as I can on one of these squares. And I think this is going to be a pretty nice way for me to do this. And what I mean by that is, I think that in the planning world, because we all have our own systems and methods of planning that we most enjoy. And for me, I've always been most drawn to a monthly layout. And I just like seeing all my plans and to-dos and things that I've accomplished on 2 sheets. I like the look of it. I like when it gets super packed. I like when it looks like I got a lot done, or I have a lot going on and I can highlight things as I accomplish them, whatever the case may be. So I think that this is going to be, I don't know, I think I'm just going to like this method of writing my variables down every single week and keeping track of them in a monthly layout. So I'm going to try that. I don't know if it's going to last. You guys know that I change up the way I do things, I guess whenever the mood strikes me, whenever I feel like trying something different. And I think everybody should be like that. I think that, let's see, I'm working with the following week. So I'm going to write my variables on this day, even though more often than not, they'll probably be written on a Saturday, just because here I should probably save these for paydays, but that's okay. So I think everybody should change up their methods and their systems, because it keeps things fresh and it keeps me motivated when I change things up. As soon as I create a new system, I like to use it for a while, see if I'm comfortable with it, see if it works for me, and then I don't know, it either does or it doesn't, and I move on to the next thing, or I use this for a while. And I just really like that. I think that it just keeps things interesting. So my variables, am I zoomed in far enough? All right. So my variables are going to be gas and groceries and the dogs. And I'll explain all of these and the amounts. If you are new here, thank you so much for popping in. If you've been here for a while, thank you so much. I really appreciate your support, comments, views, friendship, all that. I really, really appreciate it. But if you're new here, I invite you to check out some of my older videos where I talk about our debt journey and the amount of debt and money that we have paid off since I've been doing this channel. I think I started this channel in December of 2018, something like that. I don't know, I could be wrong. I'm probably wrong about that, but it's right around that time. And ever since, the ups and downs that we've had have been absolutely mental. It's just been crazy. So I have a lot of archived videos that will kind of explain our journey and the things that we have been through and continue to go through, like everybody. Let's see. So I'm writing down my amounts now. And in this coming week, I have some birthdays that I need to purchase gifts for. I have quite a few birthdays, actually. So I'm budgeting $200 extra, which is a lot. I mean, I can admit that. I think that's a lot of money, but it's covering quite a few birthdays. So let's see. We're going to start with gas because my husband and I each have like a smaller, like a mid-size SUV. Definitely not anything huge, but it takes about, I would say, if we're not on totally empty, because I rarely fill up when we're on complete empty. I would say it takes about $60 on average for each car. So I'm going to put aside $60 for each of us for the week. And that gives us $120. So 20, 40, 60, 80, 120. And what I do is I divvy this up with my husband, and he takes his and I take mine. I will say that in the cash envelope system, using this method, gas is probably the least thing that I like to use cash for. I would much prefer to pull into the gas station, get out my debit card, credit card. We do use a Discover very often. I don't carry any credit card debt, but we use a Discover very often to earn the cash back. which does add up, especially if you use it on a regular basis. And I think coming up, I think the rewards for the extra cash back in the next quarter are Target and gas maybe, which is good. And I may have to rethink that because I think that starts in April. So I might end up using my Discover for that just to earn the extra money. But when we do use our Discover, we pay it off pretty instantly. I don't even like to wait until all the charges hit at the end of the month because then that feels really overwhelming for me. And a lot of budgeting for me is it's psychological, so I don't like to see big amounts even if I have the money to cover it. So I like to make micro payments. And so let's take, for instance, you know, I go through the car wash or I get my oil changed like I did a couple weeks ago and I use the Discover. I like to literally pay it as soon as it hits the account, as soon as the expense hits. So that usually takes a day or so with Discover, and then I'll make a payment right away. So not all credit card companies will allow you to do that, surprisingly. They will not allow you to make payments more than once every 3 days, once every 10 days. It just depends. And so you kind of have to figure that out and see what your particular credit card allows. And shop around your credit cards if you do use them. I mean, for us, I know we'll always have credit cards, even though we don't carry credit card debt month to month. Just out of convenience, we'll always have something that we use and something that we use most often. We do have other credit cards from a while back, and I think I have my Capital One, actually. I think I've had that the longest, and I want to say I've probably had it for like 18 years, and I cannot tell you the last time I used it. I mean, it wasn't even part of our massive debt when we were going through that last time, so I don't even know. But shop around, and if you want a really good resource for finding a credit card that will offer you the best interest on purchases, the best deals on balance transfers, I would definitely recommend going to nerdwallet.com. They always have the latest and greatest on all the info and the lowdown on credit cards. So here we go. This, between groceries and dogs, it's going to be $170. So I'm going to put down $140. I'm just going to put this all in one because I know that I'm going to pick up our dog food, which we haven't been buying recently because, sorry, I'm talking too much. My throat is really dry. We haven't been buying too much recently because we've been making our dog food. But once in a while, I do feel like we need to get it. The dogs just need that crunch for their teeth sometimes. And when we make their dog food, they're not getting any of that. And they don't like those dental sticks, those green dental sticks for dogs. They hate those, surprisingly. So this is going to be $170. I'm going to put that in here. Lately, we've been doing, well, not lately. For a long time, we've been doing a lot of our grocery shopping at Aldi. And then we go to like Walmart or Target sometimes. And then the last stop we make is Giant Eagle. We do have a Meijer. And although I like Meijer, it has the same prices in our area as Giant Eagle does. And Giant Eagle is very expensive by us. So I don't go there very often because I just don't see the need. They do have a good selection of things, but I just don't see the need to kind of go off my path. Not that it's that far away. It's literally like probably 3 miles from my house. But it's not on my direct path because our Giant Eagle and Walmart and Aldi and Target are like almost fused together. They're so close. So Meijer's about 3 miles away or so. So I need 200 for birthday. So 100, 20, 40, 60, 82. A lot of birthdays between the end of this month and into April. But yeah, I find that Meijer's prices are really in line with Giant Eagle, and I was surprised by that. And I don't know why I thought or assumed that Meijer was more of a discount grocery store. And in some ways they may be. I'm not saying that their prices are bad, but for most things, I was just really surprised. And I don't know if some of you guys have a Giant Eagle or a marketplace. That's the same thing in our area. And it's just expensive. A lot of their stuff is the same price as like Whole Foods. We don't have a Whole Foods right next to our house. I'm putting $40 into miscellaneous. 20 for me, 20 for my husband. I like Whole Foods, don't get me wrong, but I don't like Whole Foods prices. And Giant Eagle is very comparable. Now, Trader Joe's, love it. But the closest one we have is 45 minutes away. Don't love it. So we hardly ever go to a Trader Joe's. But Aldi's very similar. And I don't know if you've ever heard the story that they used to be owned by the same family. Two brothers, one ended up with Trader Joe's and one ended up with Aldi's. Is that true? I don't know. But I swear I heard something about that. I am so sorry about all the throat clearing. And my asthma is kicking up because the weather's changing. And I don't like that. So I have to do something about that. Add another medication to my allergy repertoire. All right, so that was dining out. I added $60. And I'm going to just zip these all up so they're nice and secure. I do take this with me when I'm out and about, just so I have my money to pay for things. All right. And then I was thinking, I don't know, I hate to waste a Post-it. I'm gonna write it on this because this I have to throw away anyway. I'm just gonna add up. I found my calculator. I don't know if I think I mentioned that. It's in the other room, but I found it. I should have grabbed it. But anyway, let me know if you guys want a weekend vlog. I was thinking about doing that because I wanted to share with you our dining room furniture that we got. I've mentioned that a couple times that we got a secondhand dining set on Facebook Marketplace. Totally thrilled. It's beautiful. It exceeded our expectations. I'm so happy we didn't go to a store and purchase anything expensive or anything, even if it was interest-free for X amount of months. I'm glad we didn't do it. It would have been so much more money. And I just don't want to spend it on that at this time. So let me know if you would like a weekend vlog. I can make that part of it. Do some running around. Do some planning. Take you guys with me to some stores. If you guys want to go to Aldi's. If you guys want me to take you to Meijer. If you've ever been to a Meijer. Kind of show you some price comparisons. We could do that. If you have any other ideas, let me know. But I would be totally open to doing that. I just want to make sure that it's something you guys want to see, you know, as part of this channel. All right, so my total in variables for this week is $590. Not horrible, not great. It would be $200 less had we not had the birthdays to purchase for. However, having birthdays to buy for is a blessing. That means you have family and friends to celebrate, and I think that's awesome. So I am excited about that. So this is for the week starting the 19th, March 19th, and going all the way to the 25th. So I should have written that down too. In fact, I might do that. 3/19 through 3/25. I'll have to make that part of it next time. But you guys get what I'm saying about using a 2-month spread, a 2-month layout to put down all of your information, your pays and your variables and all that kind of stuff, and how nice and robust it will look at the end of the month. And you'll have a clear I don't want to say one snapshot, 2-page snapshot, but one view of everything that you did during the month and where your money went. I just think that just sounds really good to me right now. So I'm going to keep this going for the rest of March. I'm going to try and backfill in before I do my next video with you guys, so you guys can see paydays and such, because I didn't go over any of our pays. And although for the most part they don't change, my husband's commission does change, and you'll be able to see that there's a huge difference in March's commission compared to February and January's. So you'll be able to notice those changes. But yeah, I think that is what I'm going to do. So if you haven't already subscribed and you're interested in budget journeys, debt-free journeys, and things like this, real numbers, I invite you to subscribe. I would love if you did so. And as always, I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope I see you in my next video. Take care.